Yesterday I had a couple of great catch-ups with other coaches for different reasons in terms of working together. And in both of those catch-ups, we spoke about our passion for working with purpose-driven people. But I was asked a really interesting question, something I've never been contemplated that much before, which was about my work with people who almost have purpose fatigue. So if you can imagine, when you're so driven towards an outcome and being purposeful and creating a change in the world, that you can often get fatigued because it's so hard to keep getting people to come on the journey with you. Now, to me, I think this is akin to so many things in business ownership, right? Ideally, you have a business for more than just to make money. It is very hard to be fulfilled by a business if your only thing is about it making money. And ideally, you will have a business or you will be in leadership because you actually align with a stronger vision, a stronger sense of purpose around that business. And so when you are really driven towards that, particularly if you're an owner or a leader with skin in the game, it can get really frustrating when other people don't see that vision, and you have to be constantly repeating the vision and getting people on the right bus with you, etc., etc. But I do think that there are ways around this. And at the core of this, it's an identity question. So it is actually about separating yourself from that role to an extent, seeing yourself as more than just the cause, seeing yourself as more than just the business owner, seeing yourself as more than just the role. Whether you are actually purpose driven for a cause or whether you are just values driven to, provide for your family or make a difference in your local community, all of those are very nice and noble things. We don't all need to be jumping in and saving the world, but we all can hit the same levels of fatigue if we tie our entire identity just to that role, just to that purpose. And so some of the things that I suggest to people are an exercise in who are you without that role, without that title. So if you don't own that business, if you're not involved with that community group, if you're not married to that person, if you're not the mum or the dad of that person, whatever you most commonly tend to introduce yourself as at barbecues, then who are you? So if somebody asks you who you are, and that comes down to some of the fundamental things that make you a human. Are you somebody who prefers winter or summer? Are you somebody who loves the beach or the forest or the mountains? Are you somebody who loves animals? Are you somebody who really enjoys reading or music? What are the things that make you fundamentally you? And then it comes back to your values. And your values can be expressed at so many different things in your life. So my values, as I've spoken about a lot in the podcast, are growth, adventure, and health. Those are expressed throughout my life in terms of my wanting to learn and grow and develop myself on a continuous basis. My health, obviously working in healthcare, but also looking after my own health, and adventure, and that belief that anything can be an adventure. So they don't all need to be tied into my work or my role at every single time. I can fulfill some of those things maybe outside of work or outside of doing some of the boring day-to-day things that we all have to do, whether it's making dinner or tidying the house or like doing the accounting. And a second piece is to try and embrace levity. So try and embrace humor, try and embrace that inner child, or try and embrace something that you haven't done before. So thinking back to things that you maybe really enjoyed as a child and seeing how you can bring that in. So maybe it's board games, maybe it's play, maybe it's exploring, maybe it's obstacle courses. A couple of things that I have done recently. A couple of my friends have got toddlers and we have taken them to a trampolining place. I think I get as much out of like bouncing around on the trampolines as these toddlers do. And, you know, it's very easy to do that whenever you can blame it on taking a child. Or I have made little hide and seek treat games for my dogs, which, you know, enriches their lives and also brings me joy. So thinking about how you can bring a little bit more humor or joy into your day. So levity is actually a leadership skill. Something that we did in my clinical business was set up a meme hub. And you know what? Even that is often something that as an owner or a leader that I have to constantly reignite. And so that comes back to the next piece in this, which is that whatever like your vision, your purpose, your ultimate summit is, there's always going to be more summits. You're never going to be done. So one, you need to break it down into small achievable goals so you can actually tick off these markers and give yourself that sense of, you know, gratitude, abundance, wire your brain into celebrating the small wins. So elephant sandwich, by breaking it down into small chunks. And the second one is being really intentional with choosing the next things that you elevate towards. So not trying to solve everything, but just choosing the next best project and not getting distracted by all the bright, shiny objects. Because, you know, purposeful people, particularly people of an entrepreneurial spirit, you'll always be looking around thinking that something is a great idea, thinking that something is the next best thing for you to do. And the truth is, ideas and opportunities are just like buses. You know, you don't have to take every single one of them. Generally, there's always another one coming, particularly if you're in business or as an entrepreneur. So I hope this little reflection on identity has been useful for you, and I invite you to play around with some of those things so you don't find yourself getting all consumed, whether it's by your purpose, by your role, or by your business, and you can manage to find a little bit of something just outside of that to build the identity that you would like to embody. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for more from Endures.